Hey everyone, thank you for watching. In today's video, I am so excited to do. It is just going to be a chill Q&A. I asked on my Instagram stories what questions you had for me, and I am going to be answering those today. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of different topics were put into that question form. Before we jump into it, I do want to say there's a sponsor on today's video, and I'm getting to partner once again with Ulike. I saw that I had a few questions come in on the IPL device that I had gotten from Ulike. I talked about doing the at-home hair removal in a past video. I saw I had a few questions coming. I was talking with Ulike about potentially working with them again, so I said, hey, I have a few questions. Do you want to do the Q&A video? So the first couple of questions I'm going to answer from you that you had about the IPL that you do at home to remove hair wherever you would like on your body. So I'll answer those questions first and talk a little bit more about my experience using the device. Then we'll jump into the rest of the questions to finish off the Q&A. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so before we jump in, I do start my videos with an outfit of the day. Today, I just have on some jeans, distressed denim, and then this little crop top here. I got it many moons ago from Laura's boutique, but it continues to be a favorite of mine. I will link anything down below. If I happen to mention anything that I can link, that will be down there. The Ulike IPL, of course, will be linked. I do have a discount code with them as well, which is Samantha MA. But I will also link my makeup. I did a little demo for the eyeshadow and then also my lip duo, both on my TikTok and on my Instagram. I will link the first video that I did down below because I go into a little bit more depth about my experience, why I decided to try at-home laser, kind of my fears around it, why it took me a little bit longer to actually do it. If you're not familiar with it, the IPL stands for Intense Pulse Light. And what you do is that when you turn it on, you place this right up against whatever area it is that you are wanting to remove the hair. Press it really firmly on there, you click the button, and then the light will pulse. And you can use this on your legs, your arms, your face, your underarms, your bikini area, really wherever you would like to. For me, I was doing it on my legs, my underarms, and also my bikini area. And one of the questions that I saw that came in was, how often do you have to do it? So for me, for the first month that I used it, I was using it at least 3 times a week. Underarms was where I was first definitely seeing the hair wasn't growing back as fast. And then with my bikini area, what I noticed and what I said in my first video is not only was I noticing the hair not coming back, you know, as quickly, but also my ingrown hairs were really starting to clear up, which was something that I was very excited about because that's always been a source of bother for me. I've literally like turned down like going to the pool because I didn't want to be in a swimsuit and that sort of thing, which is why I was really starting to lean towards wanting to do something like laser at a salon or trying a hair removal device at home. One thing that I pointed out in my first video is that you do want to shave prior to using the IPL. That way you are getting down to the actual hair follicle and you're not just doing the hair on your legs. I saw some questions about dark hair versus blonde hair, but what you're really aiming for is the actual hair follicle. I thought before going into the at-home hair removal that you had to like let your hair grow out, because that's exactly what I did. I let my hair grow out for like probably at least 3 weeks. And then I was really turning down the invites to the pool. It makes it different from like waxing and just kind of pulling the hair off. And another reason I mentioned that I enjoy this, you get to do it just from the comfort of your own home. There is no pain at all. I was really fearful of the pain because I've done waxing, I've done sugaring, all of that is really painful. And it's also like quite a bit less expensive than having to go to a salon. It's also just not as uncomfortable of having someone else do it, especially on like a bikini area. This one here is the Sapphire Air Plus in the dark green color. This one retails for $359, but again, I do have that code, which is Samantha M. And you can either go at your own pace or you can just be more comfortable doing it at home. And I saw a question come in that if you like provided the goggles that you wear, like the glasses that you wear when you do it. And yes, everything that you need is included in here. I also see a question come in of if you can use IPL over tattoos, and you do not want to do this over a tattoo. Even something like doing a laser, like if you were to go to a salon, they would not let you laser over tattoos. I have a girlfriend who actually did go to a salon. She was trying to go for a while there. She ended up buying the Ulike device, so I'm really excited to see her progress and get her results from it, because she just stopped going. Like, she had paid for it and she just stopped stopped going. She's like, it's too much of a time commitment. I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to do it. But she did say when she went in, because she has a few tattoos, and they did tell her you can't laser over them. And it's the same thing with an IPL, because you are using the heat. It can actually affect the pigment of the tattoo. And so it can not only discolor it, but it can actually really affect it, like even give like blisters and that sort of thing. So you don't want to use something like an IPL over tattoos. So those are a couple questions that I got about doing the IPL at home. If you do have any other questions, please just leave them. I will try to get to as many as I can, update it as I go along with my progress and share how it goes. If you did pick up the Ulike IPL, I would love to know. Please leave it in the comments. I've just been having such a great experience with mine, so I'm really happy that I was able to partner with Ulike again on this video. And if you want to check it out, I will link it down below. You can get it on the Ulike website with that $100 off with the code SAMANTHAMA, and it is also available on Amazon, so of course I do have it in my storefront as well. Would also make a great gift idea. I have another gift guide coming up. I've already done a gift guide, but this is also a really great gift idea for someone in your life. So thank you guys so much for your support and letting me have even more opportunities like this. It really does mean a lot, and let's head over to the rest of the questions. I will try to get through as many as I can. I see that there is a lot here. I asked on my Instagram, which is MARCHBEAUTY. If you aren't following me over there, you definitely should be. I'm quite funny in my stories. I post Aries OOTD in my stories every single day, my dog. But this question is, would you ever add any colors to your hair, even just colored extensions like purple or pink? I don't think so. I used to do red. Like back in the day, my underneath was a pretty dark red, and then the top was more of like the color that I have now, so it looked kind of cool when it was half up, half down. And I really liked that, but other than that, I'm not really big on coloring my hair different colors or even like adding in the extension. I did do a vlog recently on my hair extensions, since I am doing Vlogmas in December where I'm posting every day. I took you along to my hair salon and you got to see the 5-hour process of putting in my natural beaded row extensions, so I can link that video if you want to see it. This next question is, do you ever miss being married? I definitely have times where I miss being married. I feel like there's aspects of marriage that I miss, and I've been wanting to do a video on divorce and maybe like what I wish that I knew or what I wish I could have prepared myself for. And I think one of the biggest factors for me is just a really kind of scary feeling of you're all you got. And for me, I was with my ex-husband for 15 years. So I was with him for literally half of my life. And so obviously when you're with someone for so long, you're so used to being a team and you're so used to being a partnership. And when you don't have that anymore, it's really scary, because throughout our 15 years, there was times where I was down and Mitch was up, and times where Mitch was down and I was up. There was times where we were both up, but we always had each other to lean on and to support and to fall back on. And I think that's one of the scariest things. I've always prided myself on being independent, even though I was in a long-term relationship, and now I feel like I'm really learning what it means to be independent and know that you can only rely on yourself. And that's a part that I miss a lot because it's scary. This next question is top 3 things about yourself that make you proud. I'm definitely super proud of my work ethic. I'm someone who is very self-motivated. I'm very self-disciplined. I have been an entrepreneur, again, for a lot of my adult life. I went full-time in mostly the book space. That's what I really quit my job for, was to be an author and to work in book marketing. I owned my own company, and I also worked for a publishing company. So I quit my full-time job in 2013, it would have been 2014. I quit my full-time job, and then eventually I ended up getting on YouTube, and now I own my own business, and all of that is, you know, super great. I'd say that I'm also very proud of my character. I'm someone who, like, I go to bed at night and I know that I was a good person that day, which might sound weird, but like, I know that I do a lot for the people that are close to me. I know I do a lot for the people who I consider, you know, my friends and my family. And not to say that like I'm always perfect by any means. There's some nights I go to bed and I'm like, well, Sam, you can do better tomorrow. But for the most part, on the whole, like, I know that I am a good person, and that is something that makes me really, really proud. And another thing that I think that I would say that I'm proud of is my ability to motivate and inspire other people. And not only have I, you know, heard that online for a lot of years, I've seen the comments come in and the emails come in of people saying, you've inspired me to write my own book, you've motivated me to start a YouTube channel. You know, since my divorce and my move, I've had so many women say, you gave me the confidence to finally be able to move on. You gave me the drive and the determination to move to my dream city too. And all of those are things that I'm so proud of. But moving to Las Vegas and meeting so many new people here, it's something that I've heard so many people say over and over, is that I inspire them to work on themselves. And some of the personal things that people have told me here that I have helped them with without me even really knowing it. Like, I don't do this, like, when I walk into our bar restaurant here, I'm not like, who can I help today? I'm just like, here I am. What's up? And we'll start talking and having conversations, and the next thing I know, you know, 3 months will go by and someone will say, hey, when we talked that one night, you inspired me to go back to yoga classes, you motivated me to go and buy a journal, and now I journal every single night, you inspired me to start writing again. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Like, it's, again, it's one of those things, like, I come home so many nights and I just sit and I think like, even if all of these people that I'm meeting right now in my life, even if they're not super close to me in the next 5 years or whatever it may be, maybe I impacted their life in a small way that will actually be a really big deal to them. And I think that's a really powerful thing. So a reminder of, if someone does inspire you or motivate you or just give you a little bit of oomph, being able to tell them that, I think, is such a huge thing, because it was something I really didn't realize until people started telling me, and I was like, oh, that's really amazing. This question is, if you do stop doing YouTube, will you still be doing some makeup content? If so, where? I did get a few questions about if I'm planning to still quit YouTube. I did a video last month talking about how I felt like I needed to move on from YouTube because of some issues that I've been having with my channel. Not only people being unsubscribed and not being able to stay subscribed to my channel. My channel's now flagged as a kids channel. People can't turn on notifications for my videos because YouTube has somehow made me a kids channel, and I can't change it back or get help from them. And there's all kinds of like laws and privacy around kids channels. So it's just like, it's very confusing what's been happening. But it's been happening for such a long time that it feels like I've kind of hit my limit with YouTube and I can't go on from here. And again, speaking of being an entrepreneur, things don't work out. I've had businesses in the past that I have since closed, and sometimes it's just because of the way that the world evolves. Like, I started as a blogger in 2009, and for a while that was like a very like supplemental income that I had, but that was not going to sustain as we evolved within social media. It just wasn't. So, you know, you have to pivot, you have to move, and you always have to be ready to go on to the next thing when you are an entrepreneur. That just is what it is. So that's kind of how I've been feeling with YouTube. And it was funny because I got some comments, like the next video that I posted, people are like, I thought you quit, why are you posting videos? And I'm like, well, I did say I was giving myself to the end of the year to decide what I wanted to do with this channel. But I did also just kind of want to have an open conversation about what it is that I'm thinking and feeling. That's what ended up happening with the video. It actually wasn't my intention to talk about it. I was just doing a chatty get ready with me, and then one of my biggest struggles is boundaries on the internet. I tend to let people in a lot of different situations because I feel such a connection with my community, because this is what I have done for so long, and I've really struggled with finding my people in life, and I feel like I found my people on the internet. But I do also have to remember, not everyone who watches my videos is my people, or they're watching them with best intentions. Like, I know people literally hate watch, not just me, but like people literally hate watch videos, which is like bizarre to me because I don't know how you have that much time. Right now, I'm more just leaning on starting a whole new YouTube channel, which I really don't want to do. To be honest, otherwise I probably would have already done it. I still post beauty on like Instagram, March Beauty Word. I post beauty on TikTok, by Samantha March. I post makeup posts on my blog, which is Chicklet Plus. I have always talked about beauty. When I started my blog in 2009, beauty was a main feature along with books. I wrote articles on fitness because it's just always something that I've enjoyed, but I've also always just really enjoyed the connection that it brings, especially amongst other women. That's always been my main focus, is connecting women, building a community of women, inspiring other women and motivating them. That's always been my driving force, not showing you how to do winged liner or how to line your lips. And I think beauty is a beautiful way to do that. So I think no matter what I do, you'll still be getting beauty content from me. And this next question is, with such volatility for content creators, would you recommend it as a path to entrepreneurship? And that's a great question, such a great question. And my path was kind of backwards, because I feel like a lot of times these days we've seen social media be able to take people from a creator to an entrepreneur. I have seen so many people start a platform like TikTok, and now they have their own books out. Now they have their own, like, they're high up in the Amazon influencer program. Like, that's a whole thing that I could discuss as well. They've gone on to, like, someone that I follow on TikTok, she just got on there and talked about recipes. Now she's coming out with a cookbook. People have come out with their own fitness lines, their own apps, their own clothing stores, all from jumping onto social media and starting to create content. Where my path was a little bit different, because social media was not where it was in 2009. And my entrepreneurship is actually what's then supported my career as a content creator. I was already a published author. I was already working in book marketing. I was already working in publicity. There is so much instability when it comes to this career. I have been thinking about buying a house, and I always knew that it was going to be hard to do on my own with a career that is considered unstable, but it is really hard. I don't know when I will be able to buy a house, because banks look at my income that's different from every single month and my 47 1099s that I hand them, and they're like, yeah, no. Go away. There's things like taxes that you have to think about, and you do get a self-employment tax. So there's just a lot to think about if you do want to be an entrepreneur. It is what I always wanted to do. I went to business school, and my major is with an emphasis in entrepreneurship. So it's just always what I've wanted to do, is to be my own boss and use my own creativity to build this life for myself. But it is definitely not for everybody. There is so much risk involved. And then especially with where social media is today, I just feel like it's even so much riskier. But it just depends on what you want in life, because there is a reward to those risks, but that reward is going to look different for everybody, or people are going to want different rewards, or people are not going to want to take certain risks. Like, maybe these risks are okay for you to take, where someone else would be like, no way, and vice versa. But there is really so much that can be life-changing with starting a content career. This question, again, kind of going back to YouTube, is how are you feeling now regarding your channel, and are things getting any better? No, they're literally just getting worse. Like, that's really it. It's just been getting worse and worse. I even did a collab video with someone, and a lot of times when you do collabs with people, you typically do gain in subscribers. It definitely used to be a lot different when you would collab with someone. Even just like 5 years ago, your like bump in subscribers would be quite insane. It's definitely calmed down. But I did a collab the other day with a friend of mine who has more subscribers than me, has a great viewership and everything, and I think I ended up losing I want to say it was like 147 subscribers the day that I uploaded that video. So I was like I'm kind of to the point where like nothing I can do can help this channel, especially with it being flagged as a kids channel. That's now a deep concern for me. And I actually had a demonetization warning the other day. This was really bizarre. I saw one of my videos that said demonetization warning. One of my tags, so we do like SEO tags on our videos, one of my tags is an inappropriate word. And I literally I can't even say the word because it's that inappropriate. And I was like, that's surely not tagged in my video. But I still went and looked at my tags, and I was like, yeah, no, sure enough, that word is not in any of my tags. I went to my previous video, demonetization warning, that same word. I went through 25 of my videos, and somehow, some way, there's this mysterious tag on my video that I can't see demonetizing my videos now. So things are not getting better over here for sure. This is no question, just letting you know I admire you. Thanks for sharing your journey. Thank you. Thank you, that means a lot. This next one is, are there any foods you have eliminated from your diet? I know I still owe a video on the elimination diet. I don't know why I feel so nervous to put something out like that. I just feel like because I'm not the most educated about it, I would hate to like say something wrong. I try to be so careful with the words that I say because I understand people are watching and listening, and I just try to be very cognizant of what I'm saying. And I feel like with something like that, because it's not something I'm super educated in, it's really been something just this year that I've been learning, but went through some health struggles, did the elimination diet. So for a month I cut out like sugar, caffeine, dairy, gluten. I cut out any of my food sensitivities like blueberries, just like random things that I was sensitive to, coffee. The only thing that I've really like firmly eliminated from my diet has been coffee. When I introduced coffee back into my system, I actually broke out in hives all along my chin, and I was like, okay, so no for a coffee. I do things like a chai latte, matcha lattes, those are good. I've definitely really cut back on refined sugar, and I'm very careful to watch how much sugar I am consuming. I'm more aware of how much dairy that I am having, and I found a few alternatives during the elimination diet that I continue to keep, but I've also really focused on what I'm adding in. Like even just right now, I have like my little water next to me, and in here I put water, I put an LMNT, which is an electrolyte pack that my doctor recommended because my body needs more salt. I also put in some L-glutamine powder, which is for like gut support. I also put in a ginger cube because ginger is something that my body responds really, really well to. So I try to incorporate ginger pretty much on a daily basis if I can. And then I feel like I also put something else in here. Oh, aloe vera juice. Aloe vera juice is good for you. So I try to have either like some sort of juiced up water, if you will, every single day. I also try to work in like getting enough fiber. Like I usually have some dates in the morning on an empty stomach. I try to add in more greens. I've recently come to find out I like Brussels sprouts. I'm like super excited. So just like ways to add more fruits and vegetables into my diet, instead of just focusing on what I'm eliminating, is also adding in more like anti-inflammatory foods and just foods that are better for you overall. So that's just something that I've tried to do. This next one is dying to hear an update on your health journey. I just had a full hormone panel done, and the results were okay. Nothing that's like, you know, my doctor was like actually really pleased, and she was like, a lot of this we can work on, and it's nothing that like I don't even need like surgeries required or anything like that, but still a little bit of some startling news. So maybe I'll do a whole separate health video because that's just kind of a lot, and I feel like I'm already like kind of emotional in this video, so I think that will make me more. But one thing that I would say, if you are a female and you are struggling with health, from my comment sections of talking about health, it seems like a lot of people do struggle with this, and a lot of times as women we seem to struggle in silence. One thing that I would recommend, if you are able to do it, is hormone testing. If you can do like a full hormone panel, that really helps understand what is going on in your body and what changes you can make either in lifestyle, in diet, in supplements, in order to be able to function at your best and feel your best. I think for some reason as females, it's just like regarded that we have to be in pain a lot, especially when it comes to like a period and PMS and cramps and the pains that we have and acne and all these other things. It's just been like, that's what we're supposed to live with. But if there's one thing that I've learned, is that that's actually not the case. It really doesn't have to be that way, and it's probably some sort of hormone imbalance. You can find out what is actually going on and be able to make changes from there. It's super, super beneficial. From the moment that I started working with my doctor, who is a naturopathic doctor, I have felt considerably better, and I'm just continuing to see progress. The more lab work we can do and the more that we can find out what is happening in my system. I know it's hard because it's not covered by insurance and it can be more expensive, and it's something that I just absolutely hate. That is something, like, if this was happening to me 4 years ago, I wouldn't be able to be getting help for it. I wouldn't. So I know that not everyone has that ability, but if you can and you're not feeling well, it's something that has been really, really eye-opening to me. This next question is, what is the most rewarding aspect of your job? I think my most rewarding aspect is building that community. That's always been at the core of what I've wanted to do, and to be able to reach people in a bigger scale. I started writing books because I wanted to be able to share my stories, and I knew how much books touched me from a young girl and how much they truly shaped my life. Shout out the Babysitters Club, but like truly how much books shaped my childhood and my life when I was going through some really hard struggles, even as a young girl. And I always just wanted to continue that and to hope that my books would touch someone the way those books touched me. And then when social media became a thing and I was already, you know, in the career of writing, I was like, this is an even bigger way that I can reach more people. And that's what I always go back to. The days that it's hard, the days that I'm overwhelmed, the days that my mental health is absolutely in the gutter, get an email or a comment from someone saying how I changed their lives or I inspired them, motivated them, and then it just kind of all makes sense. And it's like, yeah, this is why I do this. What is the most exciting planned destination you'll be visiting in 2023? I think it is going to be Bangkok. I think I am going to be able to visit Bangkok, and I am so excited. We are still planning the trip with a few of my friends now, and I really hope it comes to fruition because that would be amazing. This one is, what are some of your goals for 2023? I would absolutely adore to put 2 books out because it has been 2 years since I have put my last book out, but my 9th novel, Breely, will be publishing in December, which I am super thrilled for. I would really love to be able to get the last 2 books in my current series, the 6th. I would love to be able to get those 2 books out in 2023. That would be pretty epic to me. I've only done it one other time. I published Christy and Scarlet within 6 months of each other, but I would love to do that in 2023 and continue to expand my business, which is by Samantha March. We have a few new products coming out for the new year, which I am really excited for. And I would love to really be able to start understanding how I can purchase a home single and self-employed. That'd be great. This next one is, what advice would you give yourself, 25-year-old Samantha? And it's funny because I was actually just on a podcast. I'm not sure if it's live by the time this video goes up. If it is, I will have it linked down below. If it's not, it will be coming soon. But it's actually like a relationship podcast. And they asked me what advice I would give myself if I could go back before I was getting married, which I got married at 25 or 26, I can't remember. So around that time. But one thing that I said for the advice that I would give is to slow down and think big picture, which is hard to do when you're in your young and mid-20s and you feel kind of invincible and you feel like you know everything and you have so much ego coming into play as well. But a lot of the decisions that I was making was the decisions that were affecting me right now. And I really failed to look at big picture. I always knew that I was someone who wanted to see the world, to travel, to live in a big city, and to continue a kind of non-traditional life. And I continued to stay in Iowa and stay in a relationship where I was very aware that my partner wanted a more traditional life, wanted to stay in Iowa, wanted to live in a small town near his family. And I was like, no, okay, that'll work for me too. And it didn't, you know, and I wasn't thinking big picture. And if there's anything that I could go back and tell myself, it's slow down, think more than what will my life look like next year. Think about 5 years. Think about 10 years. What is your best pet gadget or toy recommendation? So I do have a dog, her name is Aries. She loves her Kongs. I actually just ordered her a new Kong today. I love to be able to put like peanut butter in her Kong and it really entertains her. Aries is 9, but she's a Vizsla. She has so much energy. I take her to daycare at least once a week, if not multiple times a week, just to get her energy out. We go on walks every single day. But something like a Kong where she kind of has to like focus on it and getting all the peanut butter out of there, She just absolutely adores it, but I do also get her a Barkbox every single month, and she knows when it's the Barkbox and she gets so excited for it. She loves to see all the different toys. And so we just have a lot of fun with her Barkbox. So those. Also her Snoozer. It's in my office, so I'm looking at it, but it's like her cave where she likes to go in and sleep, especially because she is someone, like, she likes her shirts, she likes her sweaters, she likes her thunder shirt, she likes to be under covers, blankets. She likes kind of that comfort feeling, so her cave is like absolutely key. What were your favorite childhood books? The Babysitter's Club by Anna Martin, huge part of my childhood. I loved Sweet Valley High, the Boxcar Kids. I read all those books. What is your favorite wine to drink? Well, I'll tell you, it is Stella Rosa Moscato d'Asti. All of my friends make fun of me. My friend Ashley is like a wine connoisseur, and she's like, you can get that at the gas station. And I'm like, yeah. Easily accessible and not very expensive, and it's low alcohol wine. So I don't drink alcohol a lot. I can go out and have a good time. Like, don't tempt me with a good time, okay? But most days I drink a lot of just water. So I really enjoyed that Stella Rosa is all low alcohol content. What's Aries getting from Santa this Christmas? She's getting a new collar. It's a little bit of an expensive collar, but I've been really wanting to get her this collar, and I just ordered it. They were out last year of her size. And I was talking to my friend about it, and I was like, this is the one. I was like, wait, it says it's available in a large, and it said one left. When I tell you I ordered it so fast. I ordered it so fast. So she's definitely getting a new collar. This one is, which book was your easiest to write? It was Scarlet. The Sixth Scarlet. So it was my 7th title. She was and still is my highest selling book to date. And I don't know what happened. It like got put out in like a newsletter or something. It kind of had the, like, it went viral like on Amazon, and it sold so many copies its first night, and it was quite shocking to me. And then the reviews started coming in. It was the first book in a series. People were loving it. People were so excited to see what happened in the next book. I wrote Scarlet, I think, in 6 weeks. I wrote the first draft, which that never happens. It went through editing pretty quickly, and I was able to go from putting pen to paper for the first time to publishing the book within 6 months. And I'd never done that before. But it was the response from my readers that I was like, I gotta get this book out right now. We've already gone through 1 camera battery, so I'm gonna try to make the rest of these quick, even though I see a lot more. But best change you've made to improve your daily routine. And I feel like I have so many things that I want to say here. I'm trying to think of like what would be my best one. Honestly, I think creating my morning routine is really what started it all. And this is something that I started focusing on 3 years ago. I did a video recently on my 6 a.m. morning routine, and I kind of speak a little bit about it in there. But really starting a morning routine, which I know isn't for everybody, and not everybody can at certain points in their life and that sort of thing. But I feel like that's what really kind of kicked it off for me, and also really focusing on what I was consuming. You are the one who chooses what you consume on social media, on TV, what you listen to. When I see people like telling creators like, why would you post something like this? Like, I don't care about this. I don't want to see that. That doesn't matter. You choose what you consume. And I think for a while there, I was consuming things more like drama. I would always wake up and like look at the celebrity websites, like what are the celebrities up to? Like why am I doing that? I started focusing more on podcasts from other business professionals and entrepreneurs, and reading books about money and how to save and how to have a 401k. And I started watching videos on morning routine and healthy habits. And that is what started to change my life. What you consume is so important. What is the next adventure that you are doing with Angie? I don't know if we've publicly said this, but we are going somewhere in January. We're very excited for it. We actually just booked everything. We'll see more coming soon in January. Oh my gosh, it's so soon. I can't believe it. I'm so pumped. This question is, what would be your next steps in case you actually quit YouTube? The good thing for me is that I've never put all of my eggs into just YouTube, because I knew from the beginning that was a terrible idea. And again, like, no offense to anyone who's done it, but some people can also do this as a hobby. I have never been able to work as a hobby. I know a lot of people that cannot work as a hobby. And truly, I almost don't have hobbies, because I feel like everything I do, I can somehow make it into how I can make money. But I have always survived. That's it. I had my friend say that to me the other night. He said, you have always been in survival mode. And I said, you're right. And I think when you grow up like that and you grow up from such a young age, that's just constantly on your mind. I feel like I can never really relax. And even during marriage, when I was talking about like being in a partnership, you still can't really relax, because not only are you trying to still stay on your game, but if your partner goes down, then you have to be able to like pick them up too. So I have a lot of other facets. Like YouTube is not just my main revenue stream. I do a lot of things that people probably don't know about, because they're also not something that I like make content about. I don't know if that makes any sense. A lot of other revenue paths, especially when it does come to social media, that I don't think people realize how much creators can do that are not just creating content, including working with brands, consulting, and that sort of thing. See, I have my book career. I'll have 9 novels out. That for a while, my books was definitely my main source of income, and then at a certain point it moved to YouTube, which is why I started doing YouTube more. And there are other revenue streams, and now I do have my own business. So I've been wanting to put more emphasis into my business and having it be not just something, because the majority of my customers are people who do know me through social media, and I would love to be able to expand and have it go beyond that. And there's a lot of other goals that I do have for myself that I would love to work on in 2023 that goes beyond, I'm gonna say like just being a content creator, but like only putting so much focus into content creation. Because one thing of why I love this career is that I feel like the possibilities are endless and things are always changing, which can also be really hard. But there's always something that you can be working on next, or you can be doing, or you can be learning about, and I think that's really cool. So even if YouTube is not a part of my life going into 2023, or content creation really has to go on the back burner, I know there's a lot of other things that I do, and I also know that I'm a very creative person and I'm very self-motivated, and I will just continue to find the next thing that I can do. Top 2 off-strip Vegas restaurants you'd recommend. Oh my gosh, that's so hard. Okay, oh my gosh, okay. Sea salt is one of my favorites. I've had it in a YouTube video before of like rating all of the restaurants that I ate that week. Sea salt, it is sushi and it is fabulous. It is off the strip, but it is like fairly close to it. So that's a favorite of mine. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say Nacho Daddy. I love Nacho Daddy. There's a Nacho Daddy downtown on Fremont Street, the first one that I've been to. There's also one in Summerlin. There is also one that just opened in like the southwest of Las Vegas in Henderson. I've been to all of them. They're great. They got great nachos. Highly recommend. I'm a foodie. What's the best restaurant you've discovered since moving to Las Vegas? There's so many good ones. And when people talk about Las Vegas and they say like, oh, it's just for like partying and drinking and clubs and gambling, I'm like, no, the food though. Summerlin has a lot of really good options. They have Linetta Cucina, which is really good. I've been there for dinner. I've been there for a girls brunch. Botiglia is so yummy. That is in Green Valley, the Green Valley Ranch Casino. Botiglia, I've been there for brunch and it was one of my favorite brunches. The California Benedict was so freaking phenomenal. Obviously the strip, and they have the great restaurants with the celebrity chefs, which is seriously like so cool. But there's also so many great off-strip restaurants too. There's a lot of really good steakhouses. Barry's Prime, which is in Circa downtown, so yummy. There is Cut, and I want to say that's in the Venetian. I have been so lucky to be able to go to so many good restaurants here. Maybe I should create like a top 10. Would you want to see like a top 10 restaurant video? What's your least favorite thing about Las Vegas? That's a good question. My least favorite thing about Las Vegas, you know, sometimes I don't like that things start so late here. I'm like a 9 p.m. bedtime girl, and like I went to Post Malone the other night and he didn't come on until 2:41 a.m. Like sometimes like I can't do the clubs often because like I'm tired and I have a dog and I run a business and I'm up early every day. But there are times where, especially like if I want to see certain entertainers, then I will go out to the nightclub. Like I really wanted to see Post Malone. Entertainment doesn't come on till 2 a.m. and that's just like if they're early. Like it's like I said, Lil Wayne, or not Lil Wayne. Halloween. Post Malone did not come on until 2:41 a.m. So, you know, I didn't get home till 4:30 that night, so that was rough. So yeah, sometimes like it's starting so late. I remember when I first moved here and I was going out for the first time with people at my complex, and I was ready at 8 p.m. like makeup done, my dress was on, my heels were on, and I was like, haven't heard from anyone. So I like finally texted, I was like, what time are we leaving? And they're like, oh, the limo's coming at 11. I was like, PM? PM? This next question is, have you always had issues with YouTube, or has it just recently started? I've actually always had issues with YouTube, and there's probably videos you can find in the past of me saying things like the unsubscribing that seemed a little bit weird, but it would always seem to be just for like a little bit. Like I have people be like, I keep getting unsubscribed and I can't say subscribed, and I'm like, that's odd. And then after a few months, it like my subscriber count would seem to go back to normal and I wasn't getting those comments, and then just a few months later it would start happening again. I've had other issues where it seemed like my videos were being like barely like suppressed for a long time, and I've actually talked to another creator about this recently, and the things we were saying seemed really similar. And I think she's also starting a new channel, so I don't know, but I do feel like I've always had issues with YouTube since the very beginning, and sometimes I think I'm crazy. Like I was probably at 30 or 40,000 subscribers, and I was like, I think I should start a new channel because something just always seems off about this. And I never did, because I was like, it's gonna be so hard to start over. And now I'm like, great, should have just done it then. But it's fine. Is the Dior powder no powder getting discontinued? Y'all, I am starting to get really nervous about this. I mean, I wore it today. I know it's gotta be out here somewhere, but the Dior powder no powder is my favorite. And I'm starting to get freaked out because it's been disappearing off Sephora, and sometimes I can't find it on Dior. Like they'll all be out of stock, and I'm like, what? And then sometimes certain ones will come back in stock, but I'm like starting to get very concerned because the Dior powder no powder like has changed my life. I literally now only wear concealer and the Dior powder no powder. If it gets discontinued, I don't know, man. What's something you tell a future author to never do from personal experience? That's a good question. This one isn't necessarily from personal experience, but I know too many authors these days that won't get a team, like won't get an editor, won't get a proofreader, and I highly suggest that. Like I have an editor and a proofreader, and it's just as many different eyes as you can get on your books is great, because even my book went through a round of editing and a round of proofreading, and then I sent it again to a different proofreader, and she still found things. Like you need to have a good team around you. Even if you are like really great with spelling and grammar and all the things, there's always going to be something that you can miss. So having a good team around you, I think is really important. What health wellness goals do you have for 2023, and will you create content about it? I really would like to start creating more almost like lifestyle, healthy habit type of content, because it's something that's been so truly life-changing to me, and hopefully it could help other people. And like I said, when I started consuming that type of content, that's what changed my life. So why like to me it's like crazy that I'm like, why have I not been doing this more? If it's something that was so beneficial to me, how am I not putting out more content like that? So I've been trying to. I do little vlogs on like TikTok and Instagram Reels and that sort of thing. But definitely my goals are continue to work on my health and be in the best place for me, and continue to make changes with my diet, continue to make changes with like hormone health, and learn as much as I can. And I think really a big goal for me for 2023 is just being as educated as I can be. I think education, again, especially around the female body and hormones and all of that, is something that we do not learn enough. And I would love to be able to educate myself more, so maybe I can help educate others. Next city you want to visit. I do have a trip in January planned. And then again I have a trip in May, and then we'll also hopefully have Bangkok in there. But I'm trying to think if I went to so many new cities around the US. I would still really like to get to Maine. My third book that I wrote is set in Maine, and I set it in Maine because I've always wanted to visit there. I know it's a state, but like I've always wanted to visit there. But if I were to go to Maine, what city would you recommend? Where should I go? I mean, it's on the complete opposite side, but if I could get there, that would be really cool. Where do you see your brand in 5 years? Kisses and congrats for everything. Thank you so much. I would love to see my brand have like like a core collection of like journals and planners and that sort of thing, and have it be kind of really known for, these are products that will help inspire you and motivate you, and every single day you will look forward to using these. I think that would be really awesome to see, and I would love to eventually be in some sort of retailer as well, and just be more accessible to as many people as there can be, because I just believe in my products so much, and I created the collection when I was going through fertility treatments, and then you know, it launched after my divorce, and I was looking for products like this to help me, and that's why I created them. So it's so personal to me. It's a big reason why the brand's name is by Samantha March. It's such a personal brand to me, and all of the products are so personal that I would just love to continue to hopefully help other people. Share one of your happiest recent memories. Well, just last night, me and my girlfriends did the Costco wine advent calendar, and that was really funny. We did the first 5 bottles. We batch filmed some content over there, and that was freaking hysterical. We're just having the best time. We're opening it on my TikTok by Samantha March. I'll have a new video every single day of us opening this wine advent calendar. It is funny. The next one is, are you dating anyone? I am not. Dating myself, and I am living my best life right now. I'm not interested in dating. I think I just still I have too many feelings from the divorce and trying to heal. I'm still kind of attached to Mitch right now. We're still going through some things with our taxes, so I talk to Mitch like every other week, and I just don't want to. Just don't want to. Like, truly, I don't want to have to focus on someone else right now. This might sound selfish, but I don't want to think about like anyone else's feelings. Am I hurting their feelings? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to text someone? Like, no. Like, I did that for 15 years. Like, I need a break. Your girl needs a break. She ain't want no dating up in here. Do you still have a friendship with your ex? I do. Mitch and I are on good terms. We had a very, very amicable divorce. We did our divorce by ourselves. We didn't even have to include lawyers. I think that we're both just really good people, which is fantastic, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for all of my years with Mitch. I think that we're probably able to have a decent friendship and communication because we aren't in close contact with one another. He lives in Iowa and I live in Las Vegas, so that probably helps. But you know, Aries had some health stuff going on. I was letting him know. He's been really helpful with the tax situation and everything that he's been doing to help me. And yeah, we have a good, I don't think I would necessarily say relationship, but like we have good communication. Best advice you could give someone about divorcing their partner, if you're starting to think about it, would be like having a plan and having multiple plans. Having a plan of how you're telling your friends and family, having a plan of if you have kids, having a plan of where you're gonna live next, having a plan of your finances, having a plan of your retirement, having a plan of your life insurance, having a plan for everything. Divorce, to me, I know some people have to like get on it quickly. It took me a very long time to go through the process of getting to where I could officially be like, hey, this is going to happen. Especially as a woman, it's still kind of like society standards that we should be married and like rely on the husband. That is not the case anymore. But to do things on your own just seems a little bit harder as the woman. Again, like Mitch has been the one that's been having to deal with tax stuff because he's the man, even though it's about me and my business. But he's the man, so he has to be the one to deal with it. So having a plan. Plan as much as you can. No question, just thank you for reminding me to use what I have and stop buying shit. I love that. Well, good, I'm glad. I'm really glad. I said in my new makeup releases, the tag video, that the biggest curveball was me taking a step back from beauty, but also having so much support in this community of people just kind of feeling a little overwhelmed. I think the pandemic changed so much for people, but I'm really grateful. How is dating now that you've been in Vegas for over a year? I really have just not been interested in it. I haven't gotten on any dating apps, haven't even downloaded them, don't care to. You know, I've met some people, I've gone on a few dates, I've tried seeing like what's out there, but I just don't have the capacity for it right now. My heart's not in it. I just don't care to be with someone right now. So dating has not really gone anywhere for me because I don't want it to. So I don't have much yet on dating to talk about. How do you feel about your TikTok community compared to Insta or YouTube? You know, I like TikTok and it's a lot of fun, but I don't feel a community sense over there. My biggest community is on YouTube. I get to sit down and film these long form videos. I get to bring you into my home and I get to show you my dog and, you know, all of those things. And Instagram is kind of the same way, especially with the addition of stories. It's so much more personal. And TikTok, it's like, I kind of share the most on TikTok probably because I feel like there's really no algorithm over there. Like there's no sort of niche that you have to have over there. But I feel like there's less of a community sense because it's just like you never know whose videos are popping up for you. You never know who's gonna go viral. I love it. Like I love the people who follow me on TikTok, and I'm so grateful for you because I think it's where I get to have a little bit more fun. Whereas here I try to be a little bit more professional. But my YouTube community is, that's the hardest part for me of, do I start over or do I stop YouTube? Losing my community is the thing that hurts me the most. Are you already working on your 10th book? I am. I am working on the 10th book because this is a part of the series. There's times where I'm writing a book and I'm like, oh, that should go in the next book, and I'll write a scene real quick. And then also my 10th book, I have been so ready to write her story. I know where I want it to go. I know what I want to happen. It's gonna be a little bit more, I don't know if I want to say personal, but I'm just excited to write the story and I'll be real excited to put it out. What was the scariest part of starting social media? Honestly, when I started social media, like it was so different in 09. It was just for fun. I mean, in the beauty space, you could post like a real close-up of your eye with the shakiest eyeliner and people are like, you are a queen. How did you do that? You are amazing. And now you could work hours on creating the most flawless look and people are like, wow, that's what you look like today. Like it was such a different time. There was really no such thing as like trolls. Cyberbullying was like not really even a thing yet. The scariest part was like, do I have time to put into this? I was, what, 22 years old? I was working 3 jobs. I was coming off of college, trying to have friends. So I guess maybe to me the scariest part was like, am I putting all this time into a blog and like Facebook and Twitter for no reason? Like I missed like 21st birthday parties and, you know, celebrations that my friends were doing, just going out for Thirsty Thursday. I was like, I can't because I'm working 3 jobs, I'm writing a book, and I have this blog that I'm trying to make something of it. So I really had to sacrifice a lot in the early years in order to try to make this career successful. But I look back and I'm like, what's missing a few nights out at a bar versus the life that I've created today? And I've created it through all of my hard work and my sacrifice and my drive and determination. So okay, after that is where I am going to end it because I'm sure this video is so long, but thank you so much to everyone who wrote in a question. I hope you enjoyed this video, or I hope that you found it helpful in some way. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for continuing to support Vlogmas. I'll be here every single day on YouTube with a new video. Again, I will leave everything with Ulike linked down below. Please make sure that you go and check them out if this is something you're interested in, or if you have someone in your life you think could be interested in it, share it with them. Or if you're looking for a gift, have mine linked in the description box along with that code. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments. I try to get in the comment section as often as I can. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give this one a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video.